Ladies and gentlemen, we're back for another episode of Uncut Jams. The polls have closed. I asked you, should I call it Uncut Jams or the Juicy James Show? And Uncut Jams won by a landslide. Are you happy about that, Dante?
I have mixed feelings now.
You have mixed feelings because episode 1, coming in as a nobody, I got a shout out from Juicy J on his story with his 3 million followers when I told the story about why I love Juicy J so much.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Off episode 1 too. Like that's the funniest part. When you showed it to me, like when you sent me the thing,
Yeah.
I started laughing. I was like, no way.
I don't think
Off episode 1.
it's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I mean, I tried to DM him after, like, be a guest anytime you want, and no response. But I mean, he never even read it. I think either way, the fact that he saw that, or his people saw that, whoever's running his account saw it, and was like, let's share this. This is a nice story about showing love to Juicy J.
Yep.
So because that happened, you're thinking we should call it the Juicy James Show now.
Off the mere fact that we got the cosign. You know what I mean? Like, out of respect for your boy.
Hey, Juicy J, if you come be a guest on the show, we're changing the name to the Juicy James Show. But until then, it's Uncut Jams because we're doing uncut shit here.
Yep.
Dante doesn't have to do any editing.
Yep.
You don't have to do any cuts.
That's the best kind of podcasting, in my opinion.
Why?
Because it's the most real, the most authentic.
It is real and authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones where you got to edit, okay, we do this segment and da-da-da-da-da. Okay, now we're going to the street. I did one of those before. Nah.
You go on the street during the podcast?
No, we would go on the street on a different day.
Uh-huh.
And then we would be like, okay, back to the studio. And then, like...
Okay.
Yeah.
That is pretty hectic segments. I've thought about a segment that we're going to drop today, but we're going to do that a little later. Remind me if I forget. Say, didn't we have a segment that you wanted to drop? We already did something last week in regards to this. I'm just thinking about making it an official segment.
Okay. Segments are fine. As long as it's, there's no editing involved.
Right. That's true. Let me sit up straight. Treat you guys with respect out there. Thanks for everyone that listened to the first episode. Tell your friends. That's the only way this thing can grow, right? Say, I passively listened to this podcast, and it was nice background noise, Mm-hmm. I had one person reach out to me, and they said, anything you say is funny, and they enjoyed listening to it, like actively listening. But me personally, when I scanned through it, I don't know why anyone would actively listen to it. What do you think, Dante? Did you listen to it?
I skimmed through it,
Yeah.
but only because I'm editing so many other things, right?
Sure.
So, like, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, the reason I think people enjoy listening to it is because it's, once again, it's raw, unfiltered, and it's funny.
Yeah.
That's a good enough reason. It doesn't need to be anything more than that.
Out of all, and don't even include me in this because I don't want to, make you feel like you're on the spot, but out of all the podcasts that you produce right now, how many do you produce, by the way?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. Including me?
6.
Okay, so take me out. Out of those 5, if you had to bet money on one of those podcasts becoming something successful that you can make a lot of money off of, which one would it be?
This one out in Colorado. And then, honestly, all of them.
You don't want to say the name?
I could. I mean, all of them have a fair shot of making money, I feel like. But the one in Colorado is because the guy already has, a bigger name.
Okay.
So it's easier to acquire.
He's already halfway there.
Yeah, he's already got,
Fair.
200,000 plus followers and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I have a fraction of that.
Yes.
I have a fraction of that. I'm not good at math. What is 3,000 divided by 200,000? Because that would be my fraction of what I am of him.
I don't know. We should.
Is it a little more than 1%?
No, it is. It is. So 200,000 divided by 3,000.
I think it's supposed to be the other way around, but I think this.
Well, then you multiply that by 100. But I'm lazy. I'll do it that way. So you have 3,000, and then
Alexa, what's 3,000 divided by 200,000?
there you go.
0.015. So I'm 1.15% of that guy. and we're coming for you, buddy. And what is he, an MMA fighter?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say we're not coming.
No.
End up starting a fight with an MMA fighter by accident. That would be a bad start. But no, I hope all your podcasts thrive, including this one.
Yes.
And yeah, send me money personally and directly. You know, and I'll give some to Dante because
please and thank you.
He's on the payroll now. I will say this. Just coming off the top, right off the top, I gotta drop my Juicy J sound effect. Shut the fuck up! And let the people know. Shut the fuck up! Juicy J, thank you again for that shout out. And I'll just tell one other quick Juicy J story to get this party started because he showed me love. I'll show him love. Mm-hmm. This is the thing about the reason I'm such a big Juicy J fan. You could say other people are better rappers, but nobody has made more music that I listen to from years, right? So when I was in high school, he was making songs about smoking weed and getting your dick sucked. And I was smoking weed and thinking about getting my dick sucked. I wasn't getting my dick sucked, but boy, was I enjoying singing about it, rapping about it. Slop on my knob, like cone on the cob. Check in with me and do your job. Lay on the bed and give me head. I love that song. And at the end, they even let the girls drop in for a verse. But then he's like, wait a minute. Like, shut up for a second. We're going to talk about getting our dick sucked again. And great life lessons that I learned from him. He has a song with Project Pat, his older brother, called Don't Save Her.
Project Pat is his older brother?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I'm ashamed to say that I only learned that like later in life. I didn't know that when I was growing up. I thought Project Pat was like their mentor because he was in a lot of their songs and they would always like give respect to him. I didn't realize he's actually Juicy J's blood brother. And the way I found that out is because Project Pat started preaching, and there was a post about it on Instagram how he's preaching just like his dad. And I'm like, what are the odds that his dad and Juicy J's dad were both preachers? Because I knew Juicy J's dad was. And then I'm like, oh, they're brothers when I saw on Wikipedia. So I'm such a big fan of Juicy J that I never looked at his Wikipedia because I thought I knew everything already. Turns out he's brothers with Project Pata. And yeah, they had a song. It's Project Pat's song, but 3 6 Mafia is on it, and it's called Don't Save Her. And if you ever have to break up with a girl that, let's say she's a bit of a hoe. I mean, I love hoes. I'm not disrespecting hoes, but she hurts you because she was a hoe. They have a song called Don't Save Her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. And great life lessons, great breakup song for the boys if you accidentally loved a hoe.
And you try to save her.
You try to save her.
Don't.
Yeah. Don't save her because she doesn't want to be saved. That's the thing. It's not even like slut shaming because she doesn't want to be saved. And
exactly.
You're trying to save her. Mm-hmm. And we're just saying don't save her because she doesn't want to be saved. So thanks for that lesson, Project Pat, that you passed down to 3 6 Mafia and they passed down to me. Anyways, like I was saying, high school, I was listening to songs like that. Then in my 20s, I was a strip club DJ for a little bit, and Juicy J dropped one of the biggest strip club songs of all time, Bands That Make Her Dance.
Yes.
And
I know that one.
I used to work at Frito-Lay, and one of my buddies, it was his birthday, and he came to a party at the strip club, and we played that song, and it was like one of the best like core memories in my mind. Just all the boys having fun to that song.
Yeah.
The strippers, guys in Canada throwing money on the stage, which doesn't happen that often, but it was happening that day. Very nice moment. And yeah, just to this day now, last year, Juicy J still dropping tracks. I said 5 albums last week. It was actually 3 plus a deluxe one. So technically 4 because he dropped an extra 12 tracks. But anyways, I was off by 1. I got too excited. But yeah, the hustle continues like he says. Shut the fuck up like he says, you know? Shut the fuck up! And we'll move on. That's all the Juicy J stuff for today. And now let's get into something that everyone can relate to, because I realized the first 2 clips I dropped from this show were both about rappers. The show isn't going to be all about rap.
Fair enough.
It's going to be about other stuff too, like snacks. Like snacks in the workplace, guys. I'm trying to do better this year. I'm trying to lose weight. My front page of my phone says, make good choices, don't be a fat pussy, right? And I'm trying to make good choices and not be a fat pussy. But at work, at my one workplace, I don't have any bad snacks in my house right now. Okay. I'm eating clean as I can. But when I go to work and somebody drops a king-size bag of Toblerone truffles, which I never even knew was a thing. It's basically like, you've had Toblerone before, right?
No.
So Toblerone is that triangle chocolate. You break it off hard pieces, but the truffles are like softer, so it almost feels like lighter. Like you're practically not even eating chocolate at this point, and the way it melts in your mouth. And somebody left a big bag of it at my work, and on Monday, I had like 5 of them. Every time I pass the kitchen, I just grab one, and I'm like, I shouldn't be eating these.
How big are they?
They're just like little triangles. It's not anything too crazy, but it's not good to just be eating chocolate all day.
I love chocolate. I would smash those.
Yeah. And I look at it and I'm like, I don't think it was somebody that's like, hey, let me do everyone a favor at work and bring these to work. I think somebody brought it to their house at Christmas and they're probably like, I can't handle this bag being in my house. I'm going to leave it at work.
Yeah.
And now we're all getting fat because of it. Me and the girl that comes in after me, she's like, I didn't bring it. She's like, and I'm eating too many of them too. So if you think you're doing a nice thing by bringing snacks to work, you're probably not. No, don't do that in January at least.
It's a test.
It's a hard test. And I have really bad willpower. Like this year, I'm testing myself not drinking, not smoking weed to start the year. And so far, so good. Mm-hmm. I did a show on Saturday night. And one of my friends, it was her birthday. So she brought a bunch of friends to the show. And they're all drunk. And they're like, come drink with us after the show. And they were really putting a lot of pressure on me. And they were like having fun. Like they made drinking look fun. Yeah. And I wanted to be a part of the fun. But I did go out with them, but I just didn't drink. And I just had a snack. We went to Warehouse where the prices are so great. I know Monica and Hannah from Menti Breaky, they did a commercial for Warehouse. And I was like, I don't need a commercial for Warehouse. I'm sold already, you know? But they raised their prices. It used to be everything was like $5, $6. Now everything's $10.
What is Warehouse?
Warehouses, there's a couple. There's one on Queen Street, which is right by the corner, which is the one I went to. Corner Comedy Club. Shout out. I'll be there this Saturday night, but this show will come out next Tuesday. So I'll be there next Thursday and Sunday, I think. Either way, look up the schedule. James Cummins will be on there somewhere. And Black Zeus will be there too. One of the nights that
Which
I'm
day?
on.
He didn't text me a schedule. I can check.
Yeah, so I think there's one show that we're both on next week. So that would be the 19th? Oh, you're looking at it right now?
Yeah.
So the 19th, you can come see me and Black Zeus.
Yeah.
And that'll be after this episode comes out?
Yes.
So there you go. Will you be filming content from that night?
Probably.
There you go. You can meet Dante. You can meet me. You can meet Black Zeus all in one place.
Yeah.
One time. See the whole... What's your podcast production company called?
Person One Productions.
See the whole roster of Person One Productions. Well, not the whole roster, but a good chunk of it.
A fifth at least.
A fifth. Maybe even
no, 2/6.
2/6.
So a third.
A third is more than a fifth? And that's math.
Yeah. I said 2/6, which is a third.
Were you good at math? I was bad at math.
If I get the concept, it's easy. Right. But if you don't understand the concept, that's where it gets difficult.
Oh my God, yeah. I remember like grade 9 math. I was so confused by the concept that they were laying on me, bed mass, all this stuff. I went back to my elementary school and I was like getting mad at my teachers, like, you didn't prepare us for math at all. Like they're throwing numbers at me. They're like, what is X? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. A plus B equals X. How are letters equaling numbers? I never understood it. I went to summer school every year for math, except for 1 year I went for English instead.
Yeah, I went to summer school for math 1 year. It's because during the school year, I had missed the concept of like the key things that you do throughout the year.
Okay.
So I was struggling. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. And then I flunked math. And I go to summer school and the teacher explains the concept. I'm like, oh.
So the summer school teacher was just better than the regular school teacher.
Yes. Yeah.
That's interesting.
So I did really well in summer school, which is, I don't know if that means anything, but
yeah, I never grade 9, 11, 12, I skipped math in grade 12 and that's when I went for English. So grade 9, 10, 11 math, and then 12 I did English. I actually got through all of English, all of high school without reading one book. I've never read a book in my life.
Yeah?
Like I've read pages,
okay,
and I've skipped chapters. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I have a joke about it, but it is true. Like I can read words and I can read sentences, but when it comes to paragraphs, I'm just like, you're doing too much right now.
Yeah,
like it's just too much for my little pea brain. You know what I mean? It is funny. Like when I read, it's embarrassing. Like if I have to read out loud,
yeah,
it's not a pretty sight. People, some people say that I'm smart, like the way I'm quick on my feet and stuff.
Yes.
But boy, you hear me read a book, all that goes out the window. So that's tough. Speaking of school, I was this shirt that I'm wearing right now. It says, speaking of reading in school, FUH DE OH. Okay, do you know what this is?
No.
Okay, so this is a good story. So, you know the movie Friday Night Lights?
I've heard of it.
Okay, so the movie Friday Night Lights, it's about a football team. Great movie. One of my favorite football movies. And they actually lose in the end of the movie. And they lose to a team called Dallas Carter. And this movie is set in 1988, which is the year I'm born.
Okay.
And I found out later that Dallas Carter is one of the best like high school football teams ever in America. Like they had a good handful of guys go to the NFL, and they would have had more if they didn't go to jail. They had like a couple guys like that just did robberies and stuff after.
Yeah.
But anyways, so that team on their way to the championship, they're a team in Texas. They were an all black school, and you can imagine some people are going to hate that in the South, in Texas. They're not going to want to see a team of all black guys shine.
Unless they're winning.
Well, they were winning, but there's other teams in their division, in their conference that were like
hate it.
trying to be like, there's no way these guys should be winning like this. They're cheating like this. There's no way all those guys are passing class. Let's call in, check their marks, check this.
Yeah.
So there was like 4 or 5 times during that season where they would have to go to court because somebody called in like some tip on their team that was like, this guy did this thing wrong. This guy's not passing this class. And then they would get games that were canceled, like the games that they won, that they would be like, no, actually, we can't even count that as a win because that guy shouldn't have been playing that game. And they had to go to court, fight it. And eventually they ended up making the playoffs, like despite all this stuff, because there was like 3 times that year where they're like, you can't make the playoffs because these guys weren't supposed to play. Anyways, so during all that, they had this chant that they would do as a team when they go to away games because they had all these haters. And they'd go, FUH DE OH, FUH DE OH. And it means, fuck these hoes. Not like women, not beautiful ladies, but fuck these hoes, like these people, these haters that keep getting our shit canceled. And it happened in 1988, so I made this shirt, my first year of comedy actually, that says FUH DE OH since 88. And I think I might start selling these.
That's pretty fire.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I like that.
So you can check this out in our merch section, which doesn't exist yet, but maybe it will be by the time this episode comes out. Maybe I'll work on it. I don't really know how to like. I guess I could just order a bunch of shirts and start selling them, but I want to do it in a way where I only make them if somebody orders them. You know what I mean?
The only thing is, it's cheaper to order a bunch.
I know it is. Yeah.
Instead of, because then you would have to raise the price to do like 1 for 1. But if you can, like, say you order 30, get it at a discount, then you could sell it at a cheaper price and maybe sell more. Whereas if one person orders one, then you got to make one order and shipping's going to be $20 or whatever on the shirt itself.
Just hearing this conversation is making me hot right now. It's making me stressed out.
This is coming from someone that's never even thought of selling merch before. But I just
the reason I did pins before, which I don't know if you can see, is it on there?
I can zoom out a little bit.
Here, wait. Where is it?
There we go.
Oh, there's the pin. The reason I did pins is because you can just carry them around. They're also so cheap. And I just say pay what you can. That is the last I'm just doing my best pin. All of those ones people have bought. And I have one on a jacket, but I'm going to keep that one. So I only have one I'm just doing my best pin left. I should probably make more of those. And maybe I should make I'm just doing my best shirts. People like that. Yeah. They probably like that more than FUH DE OH. So maybe I'll skip FUH DE OH. And
yeah, but some people, like, sometimes I have that mentality of FUH DE OH.
Of course. We all have that mentality. Yeah. Men, women, everyone has had that FUH DE OH, FUH DE OH, you know? Yeah. And because people, when you got haters, you're just like, fuck them.
Exactly.
But also, haters sometimes drive you to do better. Sometimes you like somebody hates on you and you're like, wait, now I have to show them how much better I am than them. That's true. And I really have to shove it down their throat.
Yeah.
Tell these hoes to suck my dick. Suck my dick to all my enemies, which is another great quote. Put that on a T-shirt as well. Man, if I ever have a good following, I'll make lots of shirts. I actually used to make shirts before comedy. So I don't know if you knew this. My nickname used to be JamEasy. I was a DJ before comedy, right?
Well, that's I have you saved as JamEasy.
So I used to DJ for some Toronto Raptors, and I had my own logo, which was this, which from the time that I was DJing from like 2012 to 2017, let's say, that just meant
I was DJing too.
That just meant okay. That meant, you know?
Yeah.
And then I started comedy. I had all these shirts that had JamEasy and that symbol on them. And the reason I kept my name JamEasy when I started comedy was because I had merch. I'm like, I already got shirts. I'm going to be a comedian. I might as well sell these shirts. Mm-hmm. And the year that I started comedy, or like the next year, I think 2018 was when Trump ran.
2016.
Okay, so
2015, 2016, around the...
Something happened in 2018 that got the right-wing people like fired up. And then this symbol became white power. This is a W and this is a P, and that meant white power. So then I had all these shirts that did JamEasy white power in the middle. And I'm not a white power guy. I'm very white powerless. So yeah, I didn't really do too much with those shirts.
Do you still have any?
I don't. I have a shirt because it used to be my logo on the back of other shirts that I make too. I used to make these shirts that I would sell at raves. Do you remember the big comfy couch?
Yes.
So do you remember Molly?
Yes.
Molly the dolly?
Yep.
So I used to make ones on a milk carton that said "Where's Molly?" and it just had her face on it, and I would sell those at raves, and those were a big hit.
Okay.
Those ones I sold a lot of, but on the back it would have JamEasy as like the tag.
Yeah.
Just on the back of the neck. So I probably have one or two of those ones left, but
honestly, you could do one and it has the white power thing, and then there's like a cocaine underline. That'd be pretty funny.
White, yeah, okay. I don't want to lean into white power. That's not what I want to do.
No, it's a cocaine reference.
I know, but I gotta shy away from that one, man. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lean into white power. I'm gonna stay off white power. I would be so sad to be grouped up with the racist whites. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be one of the good ones.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends have said that you're not even white.
Really?
Like I'm not, but not to say that I'm black, but just to be like, I'm just myself, I guess.
I get called white all the time.
Yeah, well, I don't. Do you even get invited to the cookout, Dante?
You know what's funny? My family, we do a bunch of cookouts. Uh-huh. So,
what's your background? Jamaican?
I'm half Jamaican, half Dominican.
Dominican?
Yes.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, because there's Dominican, which is different.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's Dominican?
Dominican is from Dominica.
Okay, good. Because honestly, Dominicans, not that I'm hating on Dominicans, but I went there for the first time. Worst customer service I ever got at a resort. I've been to Mexico. I've been to Jamaica. Which resort was it?
Because I've been to the Dominican a few times.
Ooh, I don't remember. But all I know is if you ordered room service, you had to call back at least 14 times before they actually bring it to you. Like, they're like, oh, yeah, sure, we're going to bring that. Half an hour goes by, you're like, no, I actually want it.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, yeah, okay. And then it still doesn't come. So like an hour and a half later, you go to the actual kitchen and you're like, has anyone started making one plate of French fries maybe? And then they're like, yeah, it'll be on its way in 45 minutes. Just things like that. Also, every other resort I've been to, white guy complaining about resorts. Every other resort I've been to, first day, I give a bartender fat tip, you know? Take care of me this week. I'm going to be here all week. I'm going to take care of you. You take care of me. Usually they're so happy. You know what I mean? I love this guy.
Yeah.
Handing me money for his drinks. It's all inclusive. He doesn't need to do that. What a nice tip. And he's going to give me one after? Oh my God. No. Dominican? The guy, he couldn't give a fuck about that tip. And he just, he wasn't showing me any, when I come back and sit at the bar, he's not like rushing over to me to be like, oh, let me help that guy out. That's the guy that gave me a nice tip. No. He's like, I'm gonna take my sweet ass time, my sweet ass Dominican time.
Yep.
Anyways, there's a beautiful beach. The food was good. It was just like the service, man.
Yeah, it's rough out there. Did you ever go off the resort?
We went to like some like cave bar, and it was honestly the worst night of my life because I had like such a bad sunburn. So this is the story about my bad sunburn there. So it was during what was it, World Cup or Euro Cup last year? Was it do you know? Okay, World Cup I'm sorry that I think it was Euros.
World Cup? It might have been World Cup.
2024. Let's see. 98, 2002, 2006, 2012, 2016, 2020. It might have been the World Cup.
World Cup 2024. No.
It was Euro Cup. Okay, Euro Cup. You know what messed up? Anyways, who cares? COVID messed it up. Yeah. COVID messed it up. So that's COVID fault. If I never got the vaccine, I would have known that it was the Euro Cup last year. Anyways, so we're in Dominican. Mm-hmm. A lot of my friends there were Italian. We're there for a bachelor party. There's like 20 guys there as a big group, and let's say 5 or 6 of my friends there were Italian, and I'm like, Italy had a game. I want to cheer with the boys. I call a friend back home to make a bet for me because I can't make a bet while I'm in Dominican. I'm like, I want this game to be a little more exciting. So I call a friend back home, place a bet offshore, and
offshore bets.
And it was Italy against Switzerland, and they should slap Switzerland. And they went down like 2-0 early, and I was like, fuck this game. I left that game. I went over to the pool bar, jumped in, didn't put sunscreen on, sat by the pool bar, got wasted, and people kept looking at me like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I'm like, and I thought I'm doing great. Like at this point, I'm drinking, I'm having fun. My worries are behind me. I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm killing it right now. You see me? I'm the man at this bar right now. Not realizing they're asking me if I'm okay because I'm like so red, and I got the worst sunburn of my life. Also, like. In my life, if I put sunscreen on in the morning, that's it. I don't need to reapply.
Okay.
But I guess the Dominican sun in like June hits different.
Yeah. Because it's directly above you down there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It hits so hard. Because I didn't I probably put sunscreen on in the very morning, but I didn't reapply before I went to the pool bar, like after lunch or whatever. And horrible sunburn. And so then we go to a cave bar that night. I'm with 19 guys. And when guys are drunk, what do? Slap you on the back. Oh yeah, man. You having fun? Oh yeah. I'm getting so many slaps in the back. It was so pain. I was like, ah. I didn't even want to go, but it was for my buddy's bachelor party. I'm the best man. I can't skip out.
Yeah.
I win. I toughed it out, but I had a horrible time there. So that wasn't the Dominican's fault. That was my fault.
Yeah.
That was the Dominican sun's fault. But I think Dominican women are beautiful, and I think they make good music, and I think they have good food. So I don't want to be a Dominican hater. I don't want to get that fucking heat. So yeah, just forget everything I just said. I'll be back.
Scratch that.
Scratch all that, yo. Edit that out. No, I don't edit it out. It's Uncut Jams. It's not the Juicy James show. Yeah, hell yeah. All right, sick. Okay, segment. This is the new segment.
New segment.
We stumbled on it last week. I think every week people like when I talk about animals, so we're gonna do animal fact of the day. See, if you had headphones on, you would know that the Lion King opening would play.
I heard it.
Yeah. So, animal fun fact of the day: giraffes, when it's baby making time, the guy giraffe will have to taste the woman giraffe's piss to let him know that it's time to make babies. He tastes her piss and he's like, "Oh, tastes like you're ready to make some giraffe babies with me." So that's, I don't know if that counts as foreplay, but that's what giraffes are doing to let them know it's ready to fuck. I
didn't know that.
Imagine that's how you had to test your fertility. And like all these couples that are really trying to make babies. So this guy has to taste his girl's piss like all the time.
No, but here's the thing. Maybe you would have to try it all the time. Because, like, what if you knew the kind of taste you're going for? But then you would have to taste to see if you get that flavor. You know what I'm saying?
I do, but I don't. Like, you're saying, like, but you still have to taste. Or are you saying, like,
that's what I'm saying. I realized, like, mid-sentence, I'm like, you'd still have to.
You still have to. Like, you don't have to drink it. But you have to get a little.
You gotta get it like one of those. Remember Eminem used to have like the taster cups. Do you remember that? Eminem like meats.
Okay. Yeah.
They used to have like the juice, and you'd get the little taster cups.
Yeah,
that's a lot though.
Yeah, that would be too much piss. I've never been pissed on. I've had a girl ask me to piss on her. I've had 3 girls ask me to piss on them, and the first one I said no, and then the second one. I did say no at first, but then after some time went by, I was like, I want to know what it feels like to piss on somebody. So we went to the bathroom. I'm not going to piss on my bedroom floor. and I was trying to piss, but like nothing was coming out. So I'm like chugging a beer, trying to get like something going, and then finally it just kind of like dribbled out, and I just had to like wipe dribbling piss on her face, and I felt pathetic. I'm like, how does the person pissing on the girl feel more disrespected? You know. So that was my one attempt, and then the third girl that asked me to, she's like, piss on my tits, and I was like, if I'm gonna piss on somebody, I don't want to piss on their face. I don't want to just piss on your tits. So I said, screw it, I'm not pissing on anyone, and that's where I'm at with pissing. R. Kelly was my favorite artist growing up, and and I've told that story on stage, and I sing R. Kelly and everything. You know, like as I'm like trying to piss, I'm like, if I can see it, then I can do it. Anyways, yeah, like I haven't been listening to R. Kelly as much as I used to. But when I was growing up, like I lost my virginity to R. Kelly, not to R. Kelly, but like playing. It was Valentine's Day, grade 12. I made a mixtape.
Yep.
And I would say like 17 songs on that CD, and maybe like 10 of them were R. Kelly. Couple Boys to Men, maybe Genuine one in there too. Genuine makes very sexy music.
I have to go back and listen.
You ever fuck to music, Dante?
Yeah.
You like it?
I'm a musical guy.
Okay, nice.
So yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I put together a few mixed CDs.
What's a good song to fuck to?
Ooh.
Or a good genre at least.
I mean, it depends, you know, because sometimes, you know, you like the hip hop stuff. Like Migos is actually not bad.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But then also like R&B.
Walk it like it, tuck it. Walk it like it, tuck it.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then what else? Who's in my playlist? I'm trying to think. Like, I know Ari Lennox is pretty good. Maybe some SZA songs.
SZA has some good ones.
Yeah. So
sometimes I'll just say, I'll just say, Alexa, play some sexy music right now. She didn't hear me. Okay, good. I didn't actually want her to, but that's something I've done that. Also, like, okay, so I don't fuck a lot of white girls.
okay.
But a couple years ago, I was fucking this white girl, and I knew she didn't like hip hop and R&B. Like, if I throw that on, she's gonna be like, I don't know how to fuck to this. I don't want to fuck to this.
Yeah.
So I remember my friend was at Coachella at the time, and I messaged him. I'm like, who's killing it at Coachella right now? And he's like, this guy Fredagain. He's like, Fredagain. He just shut the place down. He's like, the guy had such a good set that we couldn't even, like, people couldn't even pay attention to the next guy because everyone's like still calming down from that last set. I'm like, this guy sounds sick. So I told baby girl over there, that's what I'm gonna call Alexa from now on, so she doesn't hear me. Don't listen, nothing. Yeah. So I told baby girl, put on Fredagain, and this guy made great music to fuck to be honest.
Yeah.
A little bit. It's very like maybe too lovey, some of it. Like if you're just trying to fuck.
Yeah.
But I stumbled into a great artist because I'm not even a big DJ guy. But then Fredagain ended up being like massive after that. Like that was me first hearing about it, but that was also like right before the world heard about the guy.
Interesting.
He was just a kind of like an opener on the lineup of Coachella that year. He wasn't like a main attraction. Since then, he's become huge. Last time he came to Canada, he did Scotiabank Center. I saw him come to Canada at like a small theater like History or whatever. And when he first came, so the next year or like a year later, already at Scotiabank. So he blew up in that time. Sometimes you stumble into greatness. Like the reason that I found out about him was because my friend was just at Coachella at the time.
Yeah.
He killed it. And then I loved Fredagain. Like I did this show outside one time where I'm hosting an open mic. I have a clip of it on my Instagram where I hosted an open mic and nobody showed up. Not an audience member, not a comedian. So I ended up just talking. I'm like, should I cancel the show? I'm like, no, I'm going to do it. And I ended up just standing on the sidewalk, talking to people as they're walking by about how this open mic is so sad, cracking jokes every once in a while. I was out there for 45 minutes before somebody showed up. And then I actually started doing a little comedy, and then a comedian showed up, let them do a set. 5 more people show up. And then it ended up being actually like a really fun experience. Anyways, I had the whole thing recorded, and I made like a little what do you call it? Like I guess a 5 minute reel of it.
A recap. Yeah.
Recap of it. And I put this Fredagain song called Angie, I've Been Lost. And It's just a beautiful song. And when I watch that video back, like, I'm like, this was a beautiful thing that I did. And I've had people come to a comedy show. This one girl came one time and she's like, my boyfriend's an artist and he's been struggling with like creativity lately. We watched your video and he got so inspired and we just wanted to come here and see you live. And like,
wow.
Like people really love that video and I really love that video. And I hope Fredagain sees it and puts it on his story just like Juicy J did, you know? Which would be so sick. Anyways, Fredagain, I heard about you just because I was fucking a white girl for the first time. And isn't that a beautiful thing? Make a song about that. Fredagain does a lot of, he'll sample people when they talk, when they like a security guard will just be like, oh, what up, Fredagain? You know? And he'll just like put that in a song, you know? And different, like, he'll see like a girl like doing a poem. He'll make that into a song. Like, he's really a musical genius. And I'm not even like a big DJ guy, but check out Fredagain if you haven't already. Fuck a white girl to it. Have fun, you know? It's cool when like things like that happen where you find out about something just randomly. I was going to ask you earlier, did you grow up religious?
Half religious.
Half religious. What does that mean?
My mom's very religious.
And your dad's anti-religious?
Yes.
And they're not together?
They are.
They are. So, but so you had both perspectives in the house.
Yeah.
Christian?
Yes.
Okay, so I grew up Catholic, and I never was like religious, but I always loved God. And before comedy, I had a couple years where I was like getting really depressed and doing a lot of Molly at the time. And Molly like sucks the happiness right out. Like it's a very happy time, but the come down is tough.
Yeah.
And I remember one day I was coming home from like a rave, getting home at like 6 a.m, feeling like shit, like really bad. And I turned on the TV and Joel Osteen was on. And I think Joel Osteen is a scumbag now that I've like learned more about him. But at the time, it was just what I needed.
Yeah.
Because all he does is like tell you how great everything's going to be. You know what I mean? You believe in God, your life's going to be sick. You're going to be rich. You're going to have everything you want. He's what they call a prosperity preacher.
Yes.
The more you get to know Joel Osteen, the less you like him. But like, if you're having a bad day and you throw him on, he's not that bad. But here's the thing: when I got into him for like, let's say 2 months, and my friend was making fun of me a lot because like televangelist preachers, like they're a little bit bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And one day there was this thing on Instagram that he shared with me that was like Joel Osteen signing this preacher to a $20 million contract, and it ended up being a joke. But the preacher that he was signing is this guy named Stephen Furtick from Elevation Church. Now, this guy, I have nothing bad to say about this. This guy, people say he's the best communicator of our generation. Like other big preachers like T.D. Jakes, like all the big like black preachers love him. He's a white guy, but he preaches with some swag. You know what I mean? Okay. He's one of those guys that like, I don't know if you ever seen the Instagram account Preachers in Sneakers, but basically like they'll post like if preachers are wearing like $1,000 sneakers or like really fancy jackets or whatever. He's one of those guys. Like he definitely. Okay.
He's blinged out.
He's swagged out.
Yeah.
But anyways, my friend sends this to me making fun of me, but then I end up checking out Stephen Furtick and I was like, yeah, Joel Osteen is shit. This guy is really preaching. Yeah. This guy is like giving me the good word and like has a new perspective on the Bible. The first one that I saw that like blew me away, it's called Bars and Battles. And he tells this story about David. I love the thing that I found out is I'm an Old Testament Christian. Okay. I love when they preach about the Old Testament. I'm not 100% sold on Jesus. Like, shout out to you if you are. And I love the concept of like, he made a way for us to be forgiven. I love like the concept of it. But when it comes down to it, I think I've had friends that are Muslim. I've dated girls that were Hindu. Like I've had different perspectives from different religions. And what I do know for sure is give thanks to God. And they're like, everyone's pretty much like, there's very similar teachings in every religion, and that's what I believe. Like, like give thanks to God, be a decent person, you know, be grateful. Yep. Being grateful is like so important. Like your life,
100%.
Your life will change with gratefulness.
Of course.
I've had a bad day and thank God for it because I'm like, thank you for giving me this bad day so I can enjoy the good ones even more. You know, and that's why I actually got this chain because I'm like, I got to remind myself to be more grateful because last year I wasn't that grateful. And I usually am a grateful guy. Last year, I don't know what happened. I kind of do, but we're not going to get into it. But anyways, the point is, Stephen Furtick, I only found out about him because my friend was making fun of me. Fredagain, I only found out about because I was gonna fuck a white girl. My friend was at Coachella and he just saw him. Like sometimes you just stumble into great things.
Yes.
And I think that's beautiful.
100%.
I'm telling you guys, hey, maybe you were watching this podcast and you never heard of Fredagain. Maybe you never heard of Elevation Church. Check out Bars and Battles. This guy, so he preaches this whole thing about David, and he's talking about the order of steps, and he's incorporating music. You like music. I'm saying check it out. Like even my friends that are atheists, I've sent this to them and they're like, that was sick. Mm-hmm. I've sent them other ones by him that they're like, I'm not that into it. But that one, Bars and Battles, the one that got me like hooked on this guy, really good. I say all that to say this. I have a Bible next to me. This is a Catholic one, not a Christian one. It says Catholic edition, which I don't know what the difference is, like the same stuff. I'm just going to open to a random page and see what God has in store for us today. That was, ooh.
I thought you were going to play the Juicy J one.
Shut the fuck up. All right, I am bewildered to hear, too dismayed to look. My mind reels, shuddering assails me. My yearning for twilight has turned into dread. They set the table, spread out the rugs. They ate, they drink. Rise up, O princes, oil the shield. I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea what that means. Did you get anything from that?
I think it sounds like they're about to have a feast or something.
Sure. We're about to eat. I mean, hey, that's what we're trying to do here.
Yeah.
I am bewildered to hear, too dismayed to look. So I'm like, I can't even hear it right now. I can't even see it right now. My mind is going nuts. I'm shuddering. I'm yearning. But they set the table and we're time to eat. So it's like, I guess that is kind of good. You know what? When you read it the second time,
yeah,
it's like, yeah, sometimes your life is so busy. Your mind is so cluttered. You can't even see or hear what's going on around you, but you got to eat.
You got to eat.
You got to eat. You got to set the table and eat the food, metaphorically and physically. So don't bring the Toblerones to work, but you got to eat. I think that might be a new segment on the show every week too. Just open up to a random page in the Bible and see if we can get a lesson from it. And if we do enough episodes, we'll break out the Quran.
I did that on my podcast. I used to break out the Tao Te Ching.
What's that?
It's like an Eastern philosophy book, basically. Okay. And so I would flip to like a random page and I would just read something random. I'd be like, sick. Yeah, I used to have one. I don't know what happened to it because I think my wallet, it fell out of my wallet, but I used to have a mini Bible that was like, it would just have like straight up just one or two bars on each page. It wasn't the full Bible, just a little mini guy. And you open it up and like I would just be like, oh yeah, that was sick, you know, because it would just have like the fucking hitters in there. The gems.
The gems. I also wanted to follow up on last week we talked about the girl Lily Phillips, right? Okay. Had sex with 100 men, was going to have sex with 1,000 in 24 hours. Somebody beat her to it.
Yep.
Bonnie Blue. But when I read the caption, it says claims. It doesn't say.
We need video evidence.
Because I think she might be bullshitting because she's like, I had sex with 1,057 in 12 hours, which means I did the math on this one already, so you don't have to watch me struggle on the show. If there was not even any time to switch up, let's say like as soon as one dick came out, the other dick went in, that would mean that every guy got 40 seconds to fuck. And I don't think that's going to happen. Like there is going to be a little time to switch in between. So I'd say like every guy probably got max 25, 30 seconds maybe.
Yeah.
Which is like, does that even count? It does by the letter of the law.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're going for.
But also she says in the video, in her video, she goes, look at how good my face looks. I told you ladies, facials are good. So now she's saying that not only she fucked 1,057 guys, she also had them all come on her face. And now that wouldn't make sense for them to insert, have enough sex to then also come on her face. And then there's no time to clean up. So by the 6th, 7th guy, she's dripping in cum. And I don't know if the next guy's going to want to, I don't know. I guess there is some guys that might turn them on, but.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even like in the Lily Phillips thing, like they're guys that were like flying in. So, you know.
This one doesn't make sense. The math ain't mathing on this one.
Ain't mathing.
Bonnie Blue, I think you're Bonnie bullshit on this one. I'm a Lily Phillips truther. Bonnie Blue is bullshit. I'm thinking about like if I'm one of those guys. First of all, I hate lines.
You hate lines?
I hate lines. I don't
like lineups.
waiting in line.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I would get anxiety just waiting in line. I'm not going to be able to get hard waiting in line.
No, but okay. Do you think there's somebody like assisting? You know, like fluffers.
Fluffers.
Yeah.
And then you accidentally come before you even get in there.
Yeah, ooh, that would suck.
No, it sucks.
But like, so is there fluffers? What are the logistics of this? You know what I mean? If you're in line, I don't know.
I think she's lying. I think she's lying.
She's lying.
She's lying. There is no line. There is lying. I think, but I do like that she said that. Hey, ladies, get cum on your face. Look how nice it makes my skin look. It is funny how like there's so much scientific facts that men have discovered for reasons why women should get cum on them. You know, like I remember like with my ex. I would be like, if she's sick, I'm like, sex makes you feel better, right? And I would just show her like a Google fact that says like sex actually like cures your cold. Oh, I got a zit. You know what? If I come on it, it will go away. Mm-hmm. It is funny that men have figured these things out, and how did they do the tests and everything? You know, I do want to say, I've heard Monica and Hannah talk about stuff like this on their podcast. I think me and Hannah have done a podcast about this before too, but I'm just going to shout out Menti Breaky. Check them out and hear their thoughts on men's science as well. Don't just hear it from me, but you should get cum on your face, ladies. Whatever. It'll clean it. It'll make everything better. I'll say one last thing about lines. I was at the bank today, and when you're not in a rush, lines go fast. And when you're in a rush, everyone's doing the most complicated thing you've ever seen before at the front of the teller. Yeah. It's like they're organizing the last 15 years of their finances instead of just taking out $40. I was like, there's four tellers, and none of them were doing anything quick. I was like, how is this happening? And I parked by a fire hydrant, and that's why I'm like, I think I'm just going to be in and out. I was not in and out. I didn't get a ticket. And if you were a parking ticket guy, I don't think you can like arrest me for saying it on a podcast. So if you can, it's jokes. This is a comedy podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I guess the lessons today are get cum on you, ladies and gentlemen, if you're into that. I'm not. I don't even want my own cum on me, let alone somebody else's. That's what I couldn't fuck a girl that's like is just dripping with cum. Because what if I got any on me? Bonnie Blue's bullshit. Lily Phillips is the realist. Juicy J, Fredagain, Stephen Furtick. Check them all out. Check me out at James Come On Now. Check Dante out at
Shay Dante, CHEZDANTE. Follow your boy.
Yeah, hell yeah. So keep on tuning into the show. We'll see if we can cut any clips that end up going on Fredagain or Stephen Furtick's thing this week.
Hey, Lily Phillips too.
Lily Phillips. Hey, I'm not going to be one of your 1,000, but I will be one guy that defends you. Huh? How about that? I'm not going to fuck you, but I will defend you. I won't come in you, but I will come for you. Wait, no.
You'll come to her defense.
I won't come on you, but I will come to your defense with this Bonnie Blue bullshit. Bonnie Blue is a hack. Bonnie Blue, get out of here. Anyways, thanks for listening. But Bonnie Blue, if you want to tune into the podcast, tune in too. But I mean, like, I don't believe what you're selling. And we're doing real shit over here. That's why it's Uncut Jams. It's not, hey, I just recorded 45 hours and we're not going to show you any of it. I'm just going to show you 5 minutes and talk about how coming on your face is good. Thanks for listening. Peace.